What's going on, everybody? It's the Beastly Gamer here, and welcome to the Beastly Gamer channel. This is my week of turmoil, my week of hell, whatever you want to call it. My beautiful HP Envy laptop is inside the computer repair shop, getting repaired, and I'm unable to make the videos I normally make. Unfortunately, it'll be probably another week. My motherboard got fried, so they got to replace the motherboard and do a few other things to the laptop. But look forward to that being back soon. But I want to talk to you guys about a video game. I want to talk to you guys about a game that is near and dear to my heart, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, man, I remember when Mortal Kombat, the first one ever came out. And it was a phenomena, especially back then before the information age of the internet. You had to actually go out to see this thing, to see how violent it was and to understand that it actually had moves and fatalities and combinations that most video games didn't, and it really revolutionized the fighting game scene. And I was just as amped for Mortal Kombat 2 and just as amped for Mortal Kombat 3, not so much for Mortal Kombat 4, but here we are now, Mortal Kombat X. Mortal Kombat X. This game is doing extremely well in the 23 years that Mortal Kombat has existed. Mortal Kombat X is the fastest selling Mortal Kombat game of all time. The fastest selling one. And that's a hell of a thing to say, because Mortal Kombat has been very popular. I think the first three games are probably, in my mind, some of the best ones. But of course, as time goes on and we got more people on the earth and we got better technology and more kids wanting video games as time progresses, I can understand Mortal Kombat X being as popular as it is. Unfortunately for people on the PC, they're going through hell. They're going through it right now because Mortal Kombat X on the PC is having some major issues. But fortunately, only 1% of people who bought Mortal Kombat X bought it on PC. I think 62% were on the PS4 and the remainder were on the Xbox One. So that kind of gives you an idea where people are playing their fighting games at, and to me that makes a lot more sense to be playing a fighting game on a console. To me, playing on a PC just does not make sense. It's like eating cereal with a fork in my mind. But I want to talk to you guys about this game. This game is very popular, and a lot of people are enjoying it. A lot of people I know have been enjoying it, and I want to talk to you guys why and tell you why I have not picked up the game and why it's not necessarily on my radar. Mortal Kombat, like I said, I grew up playing this game, and lots of my friends played this game. We actually honed our skills together on the earlier Mortal Kombat games, namely Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 3. And we, back in those days, we're talking in the late 90s, we learned every single move for each character, and we became animals. And I'm not talking about regular guys either. The people I grew up playing with actually grew up and became very well-known competitive Mortal Kombat esports players, like Sid Kid. If you guys look this guy up, his name is Akmal, A-K-M-A-A-L. And his stage name is Sid Kid, C-I-D-K-I-D. It's a name I gave him when we were kids. He's a guy who's fought Justin Wong. He's fought all the greats in Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Virtual Fighter, Tekken, Soul Calibur, all these. We all grew up together playing these games. My brother, myself, Akmal, Damien, who never really was good. but for the most part, we all grew up playing fighting games, and we honed our skills together and became what we considered phenomenons. And for the most part, we dominated most people that we played. And it was always, kind of a couch versus mode. It was never really online. There was no latency issues back in those days. It was just skill versus skill. And as time grew on and we changed, people moved away. Akmal moved to New York. My older brother, he stopped playing video games because his wife said no. So she took his balls from him and put them inside her purse. And I moved to Ohio. I went through some things, came back down here, and now everybody's far apart. And we've been away from each other for many, many years. And we've seen, the progression of the fighting game genre. And I, for one, have kind of lost my desire to get into it, because I feel like if I get into a fighting game, I need to put my all into it. I actually talked about this on the Beastly Thoughts show. If I get into a fighting game, because of the way I grew up playing them, I feel like I need to know every character's every move. It's like right now, if you were to ask me a question about one of the early Mortal Kombat games, or a question about Tekken or Street Fighter, I can literally tell you a combo off the top of my head right now. Ask me a fatality move in the comments below for Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. I can literally tell you how to do it, like off the top of my head, because of so much time we put into it. And so that's the kind of fighting game fanatics we were. And so now that everything has changed, all the characters are different, the move sets are different. Uh, I don't have the time to do it anymore, and I really don't have the desire to do it anymore because I feel like it's a fleeting moment of greatness. Back then, when we could all play together, it wasn't fleeting. Everybody was kind of right there in your face, and you could talk shit to somebody who is literally, a foot or two away. Now you talk shit against people who you don't really know, and it kind of is a fleeting moment. But back then, we talk shit, we play a 10 game series, and I know it's different because this is the information age, the internet age, but now I feel like everything is different. All these moves are different. The characters are different. And in order for me to get to the level that I feel comfortable, I have to put in a ton of time on it. And I just feel like at 35 years old, there's other games I'd rather be playing online than playing a versus fighting match against someone I don't know. I'd rather play this online, The Last of Us, with people have conversations and grow meaningful relationships. I'd rather play Dying Light online. I'd rather play, Destiny online, something like that, rather than put in so much time learning everything, all the intricacies of each character just for a fleeting moment. And that's really weird to me, I guess, to say, but it's just the truth. I was trying to figure myself out. Why I've changed. Why do I not feel the same way about games like Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter that I used to? I guess it's because things have changed so much with those games. And in order for me to feel like I am who I used to be, I would have to put in a ton of time, and I just don't have the time to do that anymore. And it is unfortunate, but I'm telling you guys the truth about the situation. It's just as real as it gets. I don't have the time to do it anymore like that. I don't have the patience to do it anymore. And now everything is so different about it that I feel like if I did try to get into it, it would take me a couple months just to get on the level that I used to be, and it's really weird. But Mortal Kombat X, doing extremely well, and I'm happy a lot of people are enjoying it. One thing I will say about it, Mortal Kombat 9, when Mortal Kombat 9 came out, it was a very refreshing time for people playing Mortal Kombat games. Because up until Mortal Kombat 9, Mortal Kombat had a long drought of good games, and it really lost its relevancy. Nobody cared about Mortal Kombat for a number of years because they were making games like Sub-Zero Mythologies and, all these knockoff Mortal Kombat games and introducing characters that were whack, and the graphics of Mortal Kombat 4 and shit like that looked terrible. People were not excited about it anymore. And so Ed Boon, with NetherRealm Studios, they kind of revitalized the brand by creating an amazing story mode, and a lot of fighting games don't have that. A really engaging story mode, like a soap opera, and that's what I got to say about it. When I was playing Mortal Kombat 9, I think I really enjoyed it and I loved it so much because the story mode was so refreshing that it made me care about characters I thought I already knew, but I realized I didn't know them at all. And that was the great thing about Mortal Kombat 9. Injustice Gods Among Us was the same way. And that was really the main reason I wanted to play Injustice, is because I knew that Mortal Kombat 9's story was so good and that NetherRealm was behind it. And so hopefully they were going to breathe a whole new life and atmosphere into these DC characters that I cared about. But I felt like maybe the game would have something else to offer that I didn't know about them. And it was just as real with that game as it was with Mortal Kombat 9. I'm sure Mortal Kombat X is the same. It has a phenomenal story mode that people can really get behind and flesh out, especially now that they've introduced so many new characters and children of long-known Mortal Kombat characters. So that really does give, the people who are interested in the brand something exciting and new to look forward to. But even in Mortal Kombat, even in Injustice, I did not play the versus mode. I could not get into it. Take into account, back in those days when we played Mortal Kombat and all these fighting games, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I was with my brothers, with my friends. Now I live with my wife. She's not the best Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat or Tekken fan. So it's like, what's the point of even playing it? Because I don't have anybody really to play it with like that versus jumping online. Mortal Kombat X in the future, I may pick it up. I might. I'm kind of intrigued to see what they do with the story mode of it, just so I can understand more about these characters that I actually cared about when, as a young man. And that's probably the extent of what I will do with Mortal Kombat X. I just don't see myself at this point, unless it's a franchise that really changes the game, I guess, for me, and really makes me feel as alive in the fighting game genre as I did as a kid. I probably won't jump into that, that arena like that like I used to be anymore. You guys let me know in the comments. Am I losing my mind? Am I just an old fart now. You guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, let me know what you guys think about the Share Factory video. I'm really excited to say that the Share Factory is an awesome feature for PlayStation. I think it's amazing that people who may or may not have, who may or may not have experience being content creators can hone their skills on something like this. It's really not hard to use, and there's a lot of different things you guys can do to make your videos or your commentaries stand out. So you guys let me know what you think about this as well. As always, give a thumbs up and show your support of my channel, guys.